Night 1 of WrestleMania has just wrapped up, and the main event was probably the highlight of the night for me. What about you? Well, let's break down the whole night, shall we? If it's your first time here, my name is Matt. Welcome to Assemble. Let's talk about Gunther versus Jade. Pretty much what I expected. It did open up the show. We do have a brand new World Heavyweight Champion in Jey Uso. He defeated Gunther. This match, though, it came together very well. I thought it was fast-paced. I thought it had a great action to open up WrestleMania. Yes, Jey for me is not my most favorite in-ring competitor pulling off, 5-star classics, but I thought they told a really good story. I thought Gunther did a really good job in this match, dishing out chops. I liked the aggression. I liked how physical it was. I liked that we got like 3 splashes from Jey, super kicks, tons of chops. Jey just getting like beat up a lot. It really did help to elevate it. And the really cool thing was just having Gunther tapped out to Jey Uso, something that I don't think we've ever seen Gunther in WWE ever do, tap out. So it was a big moment to have Gunther lose this match, but in the fashion that he did. Yet Jimmy coming out, they celebrated together. It's a great crowning moment for Jey Uso. I'm glad that he won. I feel like for a lot of us, this was the thing that we expected to happen. It finally did. It's a feel-good moment to kick off WrestleMania. It wasn't too long. It didn't overstay its welcome, and it actually was, I think, as I'm like trying to sit through and think about this, that I'm recording this literally as WrestleMania finished. I thought that it did very well. Placement on the card was where it should be in my eyes. And yeah, it didn't drag. That was the thing. You needed something that was going to be big and get the fans going to open up the show. And I think this did that. The next match on the card, War Raiders versus the New Day for the World Tag Team titles. I did not care for this match. I don't know about you. I did not feel invested in this whatsoever. I thought this is a Raw main event match. Nothing consequential happened in this in terms of, upping the violence, making it a hardcore match of any kind. There was no stipulation. The ending was that the New Day win. They win the tag titles, which is the right move in my eyes, because I think you needed to get the titles off War Raiders. New Day, they're heel, they're good heels. I'm excited to see what the New Day will do with the tag titles now that they have them. And they won in a very cheeky heel fashion. They stole the win, they put the foot up on the ropes, and they ran up the ramp with the tag titles. So it could just be a rematch that's coming down the road very quickly at like Backlash. But I don't know about you, but I didn't feel like this should have been here. And I think my biggest gripe with this was finding out that on SmackDown, they were going to be doing the WWE tag team titles. They were going to have a TLC match on SmackDown after WrestleMania. And you could hear in the crowd for that segment that the crowd booed that. And they didn't want that. Why would you I understand maybe it's just for balance of the card. Maybe they want some ebbs and flows so that not everything is just high octane all the time, going from Jey winning to like a TLC match. I get it. But at the same time, you have built the SmackDown tag division for like a year, trying to build it up, flipping the titles around a couple of times. It had a lot going for it. And then you're going to put a TLC match on SmackDown. Why not put that at WrestleMania? You know how much fun a TLC match would have been with all those competitors? And then you could have put the War Raiders and New Day on Raw and put them in the ladder match or a tables match or something and do the exact same finish that they just did here. So I didn't, this was the low point for me. This was the one match that stuck out to me like, wow, I didn't need this on the card. I wish they did something different. New Day are your winners, but yeah, I wish I had the other tag team titles. I wish I got a TLC match at WrestleMania. Jade versus Naomi. I really enjoyed this. Jade picks up the win over Naomi. Kind of wish Naomi would have won. Would have loved to see a heel win this thing, but this was physical. They hit all the spots they needed to. There's a really good spot on the outside where Naomi hit Jade. I thought a little choreographed, like sometimes it just felt like they were really trying to hit like this spot and then we're gonna go to this spot. Amazing like sequences and moments where you had like going for the splash, Naomi going for a splash onto Jade and then turning it into a suplex. The power slams. There's a lot of physicality in here. Really liked it. It stood out as a Mania match. Wondering where they go from here. Jade got the win. I don't know what you do with Jade at this point. Naomi is very interesting to me because I think that you could have her go off and take on Bianca, or Bianca is going to be heel and they team up once again, but now as new dominant heels. I think there's a lot more you can do with Naomi, and hopefully that she doesn't just kind of roll down the card. I want to see more and more. Jade is kind of the same thing where I'm like, I don't know what you do with her. This was a great showing. I'm glad that she got a singles match at WrestleMania. But I don't know what you're gonna do now, if she's just gonna roll up to contention and try to go after the main title, or she gets drafted. But I think you kind of have to, like, you're gonna have Jade positioned now as a single star. I think you now got to go and do that storyline of her on her own trying to win. But this was a great match. I'm really happy these two got on WrestleMania. I thought it was great for Naomi, and I just liked how all of it was put together. Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight for the United States Championship. Really liked this match. They had a lot of really good back and forth between both of them. It felt dominated by Jacob, but at the same time, I felt like LA Knight got a lot of spots in and a lot of hope spots and made it really competitive, not a squash, made Jacob look great, made him look strong and powerful. This stands out as one of my favorite matches of the night because I like just how it kind of came together overall, that Jacob was dominant, LA Knight held his own. There were some moments where I thought LA Knight could actually pull this off. I was wondering about Solo Sikoa the entire time. The top rope BFT, that was incredible. Then he grabbed the ropes, that got the fans, that was huge. There's top rope Samoan drops. Fatu hit not one, but two moonsaults onto LA Knight, and he wins the United States Championship. I believe Fatu is still undefeated in singles action, and yet the only thing here, like, again, one of my favorite matches of this WrestleMania so far, but nothing with Solo. Now, do you think that that was a mistake? Do you think they should have had Solo turn? Or do you think it's a better idea that maybe they save this? They had no indication there that Solo was going to do anything with Jacob to, like, go against him and cost him the match or beat him down after and then to set up their feud. Should they have gone in that direction, or is it better that they save it, if assuming they're going to do that? Maybe it is better that they save it. You got a new crowning champion. You can do it almost like Evolution, where Triple H turned on Randy Orton when he won the title. You could kind of do something similar with Solo. Maybe you have Tama Tonga and Tongaloa back with Solo, and then they turn on Jacob, making him an instant babyface, and then you can have Solo and Jacob set up after that. Backlash, SummerSlam, all of it. But so happy for Jacob Fatu. First WrestleMania, wins the US title. LA Knight looked great. I need LA Knight drafted though to Raw. Now I want to see, now that he dropped it, I want to see him go over to Raw and go after like the world title. Okay, the next match, El Grande, Americano. First of all, I loved the video package. This was, again, speaking of highlights of the night, El Grande Americano's video package. I was dying laughing from this thing because of how silly it was. They set it all up. He had a translator. He was speaking English and they dubbed it over as if he was speaking Spanish and into English. It was so funny. I really did love it. It just made it so fun. I had been anticipating this match between Ray and El Grande Americano because I thought it would just be a fun, really good match. Unfortunately, Ray got hurt on SmackDown and we saw footage of Ray getting like taken out. So that was super sad that Rey Mysterio didn't get to WrestleMania, and of all timing, like literally the night before, being carried out and he wasn't there. So they inserted Rey Fenix versus El Grande Americano. Kudos to Rey Fenix, because getting called in last minute on your first WrestleMania, and you've been with WWE for like a month, and he pulled it off. I thought this match was really fun. You had the moment, like you had so many moments back and forth. Of course, the commentators are talking about Chad Gable and every move is done by Chad. The tattoo is of Chad. They're denying it. So it made for a really good, like, kind of break in the whole flow of Mania, where not everything was so serious. But Americano used the plate. He had the metal plate. He put it in his mask. Phoenix went for the kick, which was great. Love how he sold it, because once he kicked him, then he was grabbing his boot. He had an ankle lock, so he was selling more of the ankle. Americano goes for the headbutt, the flying headbutt, and then Grande Americano picks up the victory. Now, if it was Rey Mysterio, I could see that they would have done maybe almost beat for beat the same thing. Maybe the way they did the finish may have changed a little bit. I still think they would have done the plate. Still thought that Americano should have and could have gone over, even if it was with Ray, because I think you get more legs out of the story this way. And now you have the fun of like Phoenix trying to get a rematch possibly. Vikingo was in there. WWE announced earlier in the day, I was away for the afternoon, but I found out when I got home that they bought AAA. So we're going to get an influx of Lucha in WWE. They're going to partner with everything too. And I'm assuming keep it going, but they highlighted Vikingo and in the match and in the ring at the very end. So clearly they're going to have him showcased on main roster and WWE roster very soon. I loved it because now you can do things like maybe Ray with a rematch when he gets healthy and comes back. You have that match ready to go. You can do a rematch with Phoenix. Maybe you want to do one with Penta versus Americano, and you have Vikingo that you can introduce and go up against El Grande Americano. They can build this thing like this is going to be fun. I really like this match, and just technically in the ring, it was so good. So congratulations to El Grande Americano. That promo at the beginning, though, I'm telling you, if you didn't watch it, go watch it. It was the best. All right, then we have Charlotte versus Tiffany for the WWE Women's Championship. What did you think of this? I started making notes of this match, and even as it finished, I thought, oh, this was very hard hitting. Like Tiffany got her, I think she got her either tooth was chipped or banged up, something bloody there, bruised on the head. So it was physical, and I like the physicality in it. I started to watch it, and then like even as it ended, Tiffany Stratton got the victory. She beat Charlotte Flair to retain the title. I think that was the right decision to make. It seemed like this feud was originally designed to just get to, let's put Tiffany over and highlight her and lift her. She beats a, kind of current dominant legend champion in Charlotte, someone very well established. But I don't know if I totally loved this, because as I think about it, I don't think it was very well balanced in that, and what do I know? I'm just a fan watching it. But as I watched it and as I've been thinking about it and thinking it through, I thought that they did things like they were targeting the leg, which was really good. Like even Charlotte was trying to smash Tiffany's leg, but then Tiffany would just immediately like run over the corner and then do a top rope move with her and not selling it. Charlotte was kind of the same thing. So I felt like they would trade a lot of blows. There's a lot of physicality, but then it didn't feel like they were always selling for each other during the match. A lot of like, okay, we should be like exhausted at this point, but then they just pop up and they just start fighting, dishing it out. Some sloppy sequences in there where they're trying to flip each other around a lot of hair involved. But I don't know, it wasn't perfect. I think Rhea versus Charlotte was a way better match when they did theirs. This didn't have that. Still felt like trying to hit spots. Clearly could see during the match Charlotte telling Tiffany like, do this, do a crucifix pin, do this move, do this move. You could see all of that during the match, and I think that stuff just kind of took it away. I don't know what to expect from this. It was kind of like one of my most anticipated matches for Mania because of the promo we had, how everything broke down. I figured they would keep it professional in the ring, and it seemed like they did. But I don't know. I don't know if I was expecting more. Maybe they could have made it a little more violent, but they did get, like, Tiffany got really battered and bloodied. So I'm kind of mixed on it. I don't know if the chemistry was there. Maybe that's the big thing, is that they lacked chemistry. I'm glad Charlotte didn't win for story's sake, that they can try to do something else with Tiffany. But yeah, I don't know. What about you? Did you really like this match, or did you feel like a little clunky in there? Like it didn't totally land? Now, something that did totally land for me, the triple threat, the main event. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. Oh man, that ending. Okay, there's a lot to unpack in here. Number one, I thought the match was paced very well. I was happy with it. Kudos, shout out to Punk for putting on the old trunks, the yellow ones with the black. I thought that was great. Roman Reigns is in crazy shape. They did a good job. A triple threat is sometimes hard because it's like one guy gets hit, he rolls out, next guy, these two guys fight, and then they roll out, then you go to the next sequence. I like they fought in the crowd, but not too long. They didn't overdo it. Suplex on the garbage can to Seth was really, really painful looking. Roman jumping over the barricade and hitting both of them, going to the fan. He jumped so far. Like, it was really cool. I love the spot where Reigns goes for the spear on Seth. Seth counters it into a pedigree for a near fall. Then he hit the stomp with that too, and it was a kick out. Seth also goes for a shield power bomb, which I was waiting for them to do on Punk. And Seth is setting this thing up, like he's got Punk, and then Roman comes over and just smacks Seth in the face. So I love that Roman was like, I'm not buying into this. And then Roman goes ahead and he powerbombs Punk through a table, and he powerbombs Seth through the other table. Seth kicks out of a giant spear. Reigns has Seth in a choke, and then Punk comes over and hits him with a stomp. So then it breaks down towards the end. This was the big question mark, was Paul Heyman. What was he going to do? So he grabs the chair, and they start to focus on this. And then Paul Heyman takes the chair and slides it into the ring, but he looks at Roman Reigns first and he shakes his head no, and then he slides it over to CM Punk. Heyman then gets into the ring and he low blows CM Punk, making everyone think, oh my gosh, he is going to side with Roman Reigns. He's back with him, and he hands him the chair to Roman to give it to him, to then look at Seth as Seth is getting back up. He's holding on the ropes like Roman Reigns did when he was getting hit in the back with the steel chair, and Heyman is calling for him to do it. Roman just slides, Heyman just behind him just a bit, and you could see how it was lining up. And then Paul Heyman low blows Roman Reigns, and then that is it. Seth Rollins gets the chair and he hits him. Heyman is sitting down in the corner. Seth wins at WrestleMania. A lot of people, a lot of the internet was kind of expecting this or anticipating this could happen. This was one of my biggest predictions or biggest picks for what I wanted to see happen in the main event. It brings out so much intrigue. I'm glad they did this. To me, they did the right move, and they did it in a clever way. Wasn't just one guy got screwed. Punk and Roman got screwed over by Heyman now. Now you have that whole story. You not only have Punk and Roman who hate each other and will inevitably have a one-on-one match, but now you have the two of them almost, they can be aligned because they're going to hate Heyman and Seth all much more. I think this was a great decision because now we come out of it wanting to know what is Seth going to do, what's Heyman going to do, who are they going to fight. Roman presumably is going to go away. We don't know for sure, but he's probably going to be off for a few months like last year. Punk is probably going to be around, and you can tell really cool stories of Seth and Roman and Heyman and Punk and Seth and Heyman and doing that, whichever one comes first. And I hope it lasts a while because inevitably, long term, you're inevitably going to get back to where, everyone's shaking hands and everyone's good with it. Who's going to screw over who? How long will this last? I hope this means a really cool and fun heel run for Seth. Build him up to maybe go after the world title. He can go after Jey Uso now. He's got Paul Heyman in his corner. Love the finish. I thought the main event, it just moved at a really good pace, and I thought it was well done. How was WrestleMania Night 1 overall? How would you rate it, grade it, whatever you want to call it? 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 5 out of 10. To me, had some highs and had some mid stuff. I feel like, we'll see what happens at Night 2. I feel like Night 2 has more to offer. I feel the tag team match really brought it down. The Charlotte Tiffany one, I'm just not too sure about. Not everything landed as well as I had hoped, but it's still a fun night. It's WrestleMania. It's still fun. And that main event, I think, really did a great job to make it feel like a big WrestleMania moment and event. If you guys like the videos here, do me a favor if you can. It's WrestleMania weekend. We're trying to hit 50,000 subs. I appreciate your support. If you can hit subscribe, hit a like on this. It helps us in the algorithm. And I will see you for Night 2 of WrestleMania, and we give you a review for that. Have a great day. See ya.